check out our little customers sometimes. Let's say you're down at the grocery store and your name is Bob and you happen to be a truck driver, okay? And you're very excited about the products because you've lost 50 kilos and you're wearing your button and you're very proud about the product and you are out there and you are shopping and here comes Mary. She's waddling down the aisle and she's 100 kilos overweight and she says to Bob, she goes, Bob, she says, could you tell me about the button, how to lose weight? And he goes, oh yeah. He says, this stuff's unbelievable. You're not even gonna believe it. And she goes, okay, I'll do it. She's very excited, okay? And now little Sally, she comes home and she's so proud and she's all excited about her little box. And she puts it on the counter like this. And she has her little bottles and they're all set up and it's all neat and everything. She's got her orange juice over here to make it. And she's very excited. And then all of a sudden, her big, fat, negative husband walks in the door. And he opens up the door like this. And he's got his big, fat belly with his t-shirt with grease all over it because he's an auto mechanic. And he walks over to the refrigerator and he opens up the door and he grabs a beer. And he drinks it down and then he looks over and he goes, hey, what's that? And she goes, it's a new diet I'm gonna go on, honey. He says, what? A new diet? I can't believe it. He says, where did you buy this from? She says, you're not even gonna believe it. I met this man down at the grocery store who was a truck driver who was wearing a lose weight now, ask me how button. He says, I can't believe it. He says, you've done some pretty stupid things before. He says, how much did that cost? She says, oh, about $200. What? $200? He says, I can't believe you spent all my beer money. He says, this is just unbelievable. Okay? And just about then, the two little fat children walk into the room. And they go, what's wrong, Daddy? And they go, Mommy's going on a new diet. And they go, no, Mommy, no. Every time you use a new diet, you get real mad and irritable. Please, Mommy, don't use the diet. Just about then, the telephone rings. Ring, ring. And it says, how you doing, Mary? She goes, oh, terrible. She says, my big, fat, negative husband is yelling at me about using the product. It's just terrible. And she says, not only that, my little fat children are yelling at me too. She says, it's just terrible. And then the Herbalife person says, now listen, Mary, get a grip. He says, I don't care what your big, fat, negative husband says or what your little fat, chubette children say. I want you to get back in that kitchen and drink those shakes twice a day and take those tablets 3 times a day. About 2 months later, Sally is shrinking and shrinking. And her big fat husband keeps coming home every night. And after 2 months, he looks at her and he goes, ooh, oh, looking very nice, wife, yeah. And then he starts drinking the product, okay, and he starts shrinking. And then pretty soon they feel very confident and very lovely. And they hold hands and they take their little stroll down the street on the Sunday. And all the neighbors are seen. And all the neighbors want to get onto the product. And pretty soon they're getting onto the supervisor position and the world team position. And they come back to the office and they're working their way up to the Get team and the Millionaire team. And finally they're President's team members. So we have two unbelievable things. So we have two unbelievable things going. We have the magic of the product, and we have the magic of you calling the customer constantly and giving them the courage and the confidence to keep going, to make it. Now let's go through the follow-up program here real quick, because follow-up, like we said, is very, very important, okay? And there's three reasons why you want to follow up. Number one, you want to make sure that they're taking it and they're taking it right, okay? Because sometimes people buy the product and just sit there with the last 15 things that they bought. And so you want to check on them and call them and see what's happening, okay? The other thing is that there's only two things that people can do other than cheating, okay, that can mess up the program. And every once in a while, someone who's not used to drinking very much milk, okay, 40% of the population after they're 25 doesn't produce a digestive enzyme in their stomach that digests the milk, and they can get things like headaches and diarrhea and nausea and bloatiness and that sort of thing, okay? The other thing is when people get onto the product and they don't eat what they want to eat. Now they take the 2 shakes and they think, I'm going to get with the Herbalife bandwagon and I'm just going to have this little piece of lettuce with a little drop of oil on it. And they stop smoking, they stop drinking, and what do you think's going to happen? Diarrhea, and they feel terrible, okay? All because what? Because they changed their diet and they didn't eat what they want to. And guess what people want to do? Eat. You know, especially when they're real fat, okay? So why not let them eat, okay? See, and that makes it more fun and that makes it more simple, okay? So I found a couple little things that really helped me with people that got off track, okay? Because what happens is sometimes if they do have that reaction, it's not that many people that have this reaction, but when they do, most of the time, what do they think it is? The product, okay? So you got to get them off of that, okay? Otherwise, you're going to get a refund. So that's the follow-up program, okay? And you just want to call them, you know, like on the first day and then the third day. You having fun down there? Okay? And the 7th day. And, you know, and just keep following up on them. For instance, they've lost 7 pounds, and now they go to the local family gathering, okay, after a week being on the product. And what is everybody doing at the family gathering? Eating like crazy, right? So they start eating like crazy, and guess what else they're doing? Drinking like crazy. So they're drinking like crazy and eating like crazy, and on Monday, they think they've messed up the whole program and stuff like that, and that's where the Herbalife distributor comes in, and you know, they call the person up, and they say, how you doing, Mary? And she says, oh, awful, it's just terrible. You know, the first week I was losing all this weight, and then all my family members got around me, and they were eating like pigs, and I started eating like crazy, and I started drinking like crazy. And not only that, my fat husband's on my back saying, you're a bad person for buying this product because you took up all my beer money. And the little fat pudgette kids are in here saying, you know, don't get on the diet, don't get on the diet, because everything I've ever been, I've always been mean and nasty to my children and stuff like that. And she says, now listen, Mary, get a grip, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to lose weight on this stuff, okay? And all you're going to do is drink these shakes twice a day, and you're going to take these tablets 3 times a day, and you're going to lose weight like crazy. Now get back in that kitchen and drink this product, and don't worry about your big, fat, negative husband. Get going.